The Ruckus is bringing the party to the Metro, June 7th and 8th at Adventureland Resort, with Friday headliner Chris Young.
I've got some
Saturday headliner Jake Owen.
Yeah, caught up in a southern sun.
Russell Dickerson, Maddie and Tay, Lauren Elena, Brian Kelly, and more. Festival tickets include access to the theme park and water park. Get your tickets at ruckusiowa.com.
Use code word Steve for 25% discount for weekend VIP and weekend general admission tickets. And a good morning. Welcome into the Saturday morning, the sports section. We are live from Brothers Market in kind of a dreary, wet start to our Saturday morning here in Southeast Iowa. I think it's supposed to shape up. I don't know. We will wait and see on that. But we are excited to get into the summer months for the sports section. And with summer, we bring in our new host, the host with the most. Replacing Jenny Hobbs, we have Mr. Mitch Eslick. Mitch, how you doing this morning?
Great. Thanks for having me, Steve. Excited to be with you this summer.
Yeah, glad to have you on board. Of course, we know we've got Alan and Bruce as kind of the fall winter guys. We've got Jenny now as our spring host, and now you with your summer hosting duties. How do you like getting up early on Saturday mornings? Are you usually an early riser on Saturdays?
Having a youngster at home, yes. As you surely can remember, anything past about 6:15 is no good anymore. I used to be a 10 a.m. sleeper. No, not anymore. No chance.
Well, awesome. Well, we're glad to have you as part of the team here on Steve Shetler Media for the sports section. What do you got to kick off the show for today?
Yeah, we're going to use this as a little bit of a transitional week. You mentioned I got some big shoes to fill here. I know, Alan Bruce did a sensational job all fall and winter, and they were lucky enough to be on with them a couple times. And then, Coach Hobbs carried it right through. She had a lot of real estate to cover in the spring, a lot of sports, and she did some fun stuff. And so excited to be transitioning in, and that's kind of how we're gonna do it this week. We're gonna wrap up some of the spring stuff that we had, just kind of put a bow on all those spring sports that have been wrapping up. It was the final week for the Iowa High School Athletic Association and the Girls Athletic Union for their championships. We had tennis and soccer wrapping up this week. We had state track a couple weeks ago, state golf a few weeks ago. So we're going to put a little bit of a bow on that first, and then get us kind of primed and ready and talk about what's been going on so far this summer as our summer sports are in full swing as well. So we'll get right to it here with our state track results. So we went through, hope I didn't miss anybody, kind of tried to hit the area of top 5 finishers in class. Mostly all these were Class 1A, our local area schools who finished in the top 5. Quite an accomplishment to be a top 5 athlete in any event, and we had quite a few in the area. Andy Knockle, 5th place in the 400 from North Mahaska. Gage Heine brought home 2 top 5s. He was 5th place in the 2 mile, and then he was 4th place in the 800 from English Valleys. The boys shuttle hurdle team from Pekin took home a 4th place finish down at the Blue Oval. Ava Gherkin, nice 5th place finish for the freshman from EV in the 100 meters. Chloe Glosser from Pekin took home 5th in the 1500. The Pekin boys 4x4 team brought home a 5th place finish. And then so a lot of success for the area in the field events. In the shot put, we had a state champion from Pekin, and Anna Hadley. She came in just a little shy to a young lady from Iowa Valley in the discus and got 2nd place at Anna, so a great state meet for her. Natalia Linder, 5th place from North Mahaska in the long jump. Kennedy Axmere, a 5th place finish in the discus, and then Emma Roberts from HLV Tri-County, the champion in the high jump with a jump of 5 feet 7 inches for Emma, and a couple of state champions in the area at state track. So it was beautiful, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, they didn't place in the top 5, but our 2 girls, I was lucky enough to coach this spring, the girls track team with Shay Moore, and our 2 girls that qualified, Reagan Clarahan in the 400-meter hurdles, and McKinley Chittick in that high jump event as well. It was a beautiful weather week, 3 great days of weather down at Drake Stadium. If you've never been to the state track meet, an awesome event. I had never been until I started coaching. It always helps when it's about 80 degrees and sunny like it was this year, rather than sometimes it can be about 55 and rainy, kind of like this morning out there. But we had a great time, so I encourage you to get to Drake at some point if you're a sports fan. And if you're watching the sports section at 8 a.m. in the morning, you're probably a sports fan. So get there and check out the state track meet at some point. Boys golf, another spring sport. Our one area team that made the state meet was the Keota Eagles. Their boys, kind of an unfortunate deal for them. Felt for them and really for all the teams. It was that week where we had all that severe weather, and they got to play day 1 at the state meet. They shot a 334 as a team, and Billy Kindred was the top individual. T25, he shot an 82, and then the weather hit. There was some severe weather. It was that Tuesday where we had the very unfortunate tornadoes over in Greenfield and really all over the state that day. And so obviously not golf conditions, and they were not able to get day 2 in. So they only got 1 day of action at state golf. But still, a tied for 6th in Class 1A for the Eagles, and a tie 25 was the top individual as Billy Kindred for the boys for the Keota golf team. And then last spring one, we've got soccer. Sigourney Keota. I know Coach Hobbs had Coach Holt on a couple times in the spring. His team really showed a lot of improvement throughout the year. Probably played one of their better overall games of the year in their tournament game. They lost 3-0 to Mid Prairie. One of their top defensive efforts that they put forth all year. So big strides from Coach Holt, and I know he's building something nice here. Very difficult, only team in the conference that plays soccer, going up against a lot of bigger schools, and those kids, they really competed and played well this spring. So that's kind of our wrap up for our spring stuff, and it was a very successful spring for our area athletes, and I know Coach Hobbs did a terrific job of covering that. And as you know, Steve, go ahead.
I was just going to say a couple of things I wanted to chat with you about. You're talking about the state golf getting rained out or stormed out. Mm-hmm. I can't believe I've never heard of this happening, but I can't believe that they just call it. Yeah. I can't believe that they don't have a backup date.
That's exactly, a couple of my college friends said the same thing. They said, how do you not get the whole thing in?
I mean, it's state.
Yeah. Can you imagine the state football playoffs and they just say, hey, we're probably not going to get that championship game in, So, yeah, I know, and we don't want to bash on the state or the sites. I'm guessing that it's a facilities issue. Okay. I'm guessing that those places that host probably already aren't super wild about shutting their courses down for 2 days, let alone 3 or 4, and then you got to think about the damage that would be done to the course if it is really wet. So there's a lot of extenuating factors, but you really feel for the kids. And I Steve, I'm 100% with you. It is borderline shocking that does happen, and a tough break for everyone involved. The only people that probably weren't disappointed were the teams and individuals that were in first after the day one, because they're state champs.
It's kind of like a baseball game that gets rained out.
Yep.
You hit that limit of where you need to be, and then it's good. Another thing I was going to say, that list of athletes that you were talking about in both track and golf, so many of those stars have been named our athlete of the week here on Steve Shetler Media. We've been doing the athlete of the week since the fall season. And a lot of those kids being voted our athlete of the week. One of those that has surprised me that has not been voted the athlete of the week is Anna Hadley from Pekin. I mean, she was tearing it up in basketball. I mean, she was a rebound machine, if I remember. And then obviously with the track stuff, the discus and the what am I missing? What's the other one?
Shot put.
Shot put. Man, I mean, she was almost a dual state champion. That is amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment.
And young too. Yeah, I think only a sophomore. So a lot of opportunities for Anna to be the Steve Shetler Media Athlete of the Week in her future.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, I would say she'll win one here at some point because she is a great athlete and a lot of success in multiple sports.
Yeah, her and Kennedy Axmere both successful in those kind of the strength part of the track stuff. So.
Yeah, they certainly went back and forth all year long at both of those throwing events, and both had phenomenal seasons.
Definitely. Speaking of the Athlete of the Week, let's go ahead and put that up on our screen right now. As you can see, Lily Randall of HLV TC Softball was voted our Athlete of the Week. That brought to us by Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics. So congratulations to Lily. I believe these Saturday mornings tend to run together, but I think we had the HLV-TC girls in from track last week. Lily was amongst those. She was one of, I think we had 5 girls last week, and Lily was one of 2 that had not won Athlete of the Week yet. So Lily has now put that on her mantle. Lily, our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics Athlete of the Week. Now our Team of the Week, as voted on by you, our voters here on Steve Shetler Media. The State Farm Kelly Style Team of the Week is Cardinal Softball. So congratulations to the girls at Cardinal. They're about as south as we go. On our little area that we cover here with high school teams. So congratulations to the Cardinal softball girls and Lily Randall of HLV TC Softball, our Athlete of the Week. And also want to throw this up as a graphic as we get ready for our guest here this morning. As announced earlier this week, we will be having an Athlete of the Year tournament coming up in August. Now, August is kind of a dead time as far as competitive sports goes, as a lot of people are getting ready for the fall sports during the month of August. So instead of an Athlete of the Week, we'll be taking the top 16 winners as far as votes goes from this past year, and the top 16 will be put into a single elimination tournament for the Athlete of the Year. Now, it's funny because the number 1 seed as of right now would be Evan Vidito, and he was our very first Athlete of the Week for SK Football. He's got 743 votes. Then it goes all the way down to Peyton Roth, who is hanging on by a thread. He's in at number 16 right now, so he's kind of the guy that's I don't know what you'd want to say.
He's on the bubble.
He's the low-hanging apple on the tree right now that can get picked off. We'll see if Peyton can hold on, but right now your top 16 right there would make it into the tournament coming up in August. Of course, we've got June and July to go with baseball and softball, so we'll see how that goes. And also, I've been teasing, we do have a nice prize. I told Mitch. Now, Mitch isn't going to spoil it.
Nope.
But Mitch knows. He is one of these select
good
few
stuff.
that knows. Only a handful of people knows what the prize is going to be. It is going to be, I think, it's going to be a phenomenal tournament coming up in August. All right, we've gone on long enough about Athlete and Team of the Week. Let's go back to Mitch, who has his guest standing by. Mitch, take it away.
Yes, we got a great guest in here this morning at Brothers Market. It's Kaylee Weber, the new girls basketball coach for the Sigourney Savages. So we're going to talk a lot of basketball here, Kaylee. As you know, I love talking basketball anytime. But I want to talk a little softball first because you're also doing a little bit of softball here this summer. You and Josh Clubb helping out with the junior high girls. So talk a little bit about how junior high softball is going and how you've enjoyed that experience so far this summer.
Yeah, so the junior high softball team, they are currently 1-1 and 2-0. It depends on how you look at it, which team we're playing. They're pretty solid. I love coaching them. They keep me young. They love to make jokes with me and, all the fun stuff. So I love coaching them. Josh and I work really well together, too. So it's really fun to be around people who love the game and want to develop. And, they're always new joke for me every day, it seems like. So I love being around them and the game of softball. I miss it so much. So.
And you're in a good position because you, not too long ago, played for Coach Striegel. You know kind of the expectations of what the program is like. It's been a ton of success here for Sigourney softball the last really decade since I've been around. Talk a little bit about that and about kind of what you're trying. Obviously, wins and losses are great at the junior high level, but what is important? What are some things, that foundation that you're building, so when they're up in high school they can continue to have that success?
Yeah, so some of the things that I teach them is just exactly what Shelly taught me, like just some Gator Up things, some things that they probably don't want to hear from me quite yet, but they do, and it comes straight from Shelly's mouth. Whatever Shelly says goes. I tell them all the time, if you want to play with Shelly and you want to play on the varsity team, you got to be developing now, and I think they're really starting to grasp that now. The first week, not so much. They were like, oh, no, we don't care. But now they're like, okay, we want to play with the big dogs and, win the conference like the girls are currently doing. So, it's fun to watch them develop and, see how I can portray Shelly through myself and, teach them what I know about softball, and especially my catchers, they know a lot.
Yeah, you definitely got a good insight there. Let's talk a little about the varsity team here, too, before we move on to basketball. I know you're around. You've seen them so far this year. Obviously, the season the career that Carly has had. You're in a unique position. You caught her a few years ago. Now you get to watch her in the stands. Talk a little bit about what you've seen from this year's varsity team, and particularly Carly. Very rare that you get a Division I athlete in a school our size, and just how dominant she is. And talk a little bit about the team and about Carly in particular and how they've been doing so far this year.
Yeah, so I'm just going to start with Carly because, like you said, I played with her in multiple sports, and Steve posted it the other day. She had 1,000 points in basketball, now 1,000 strikeouts. Man, I wish I could have been there for that 1,000 strikeout. Yeah. But, I'm so proud of her, and I hope she knows that. I hope she's listening right now because that is a huge accomplishment that not a lot of people get to witness. And it's even better that her cousin got to catch her for it. Yep. And, that's just a really cool thing. I was lucky enough to be her catcher for 1-2 years. I don't remember. And it was just so fun. I love seeing how much she's progressed and how much heat she can throw on the mound. Because dang, that's unmatched.
So I'm curious about this. As a catcher, what makes her so tough to hit? Is it the speed? Is it the movement? Is it the combination of both? Like, what makes her? And obviously, she's probably improved a lot since you caught her. But what made her so good? Because she was very good. You guys made state. Her freshman year, your senior year. She was very good then. What makes her so tough?
I'm going to say all of the above. I mean, she's got the mindset, she's got the speed, she's got the accuracy, she's got the movement. It takes all. It's not just one thing. We can't just have them throw 80 miles an hour and strike them all out, which would be cool. But you got to have the rise ball, curve ball, the drop ball, and Carly has all those, and that's something that's not easy to do. I mean, you see it at the college level, at the D1, which is where she's going, and she absolutely deserves every moment of that. It's just so cool. Like when I caught her, she wasn't as fast, but like I said, she's a senior now. I caught her when I think she was a freshman. So, it's just so cool. I'm so proud of her. I don't think I've told her that enough. So, but yeah, it's amazing.
And then let's quickly talk about, because the rest of the team is very, last night I was at the game against Colfax Mingo. Josephine Moore struck out double figures. We have a second option that most teams would be, chopping off pinky toes for in Josephine as a pitcher, and just the depth of the lineup. Ava Fish at the front. It's not a one horse show for our girls. Talk a little bit about some of the other girls and about. I mean, are the expectations for these girls to win a state title? Would that be a realistic goal for them?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think they're hungry from last year, losing to Northland by 1 on a play that was iffy. I mean, I witnessed it with my own eyes, and I don't know how to think about it. But, like you said, they have a strong 1 through 9 lineup. Ava Fish at the top, she's good leadoff. She'll put the bat on the ball, and she'll work the count. And then you just go down the lineup, and they're all phenomenal hitters. That's why they're playing. We're one of the top teams in the state, and they'll tell anybody that. They'll show anybody that. I watched the live stream last night, and I was very impressed with Josephine as well. She, like you said, she's a secret weapon that not many people know about. And when Carly's not pitching, if she's just hitting, she had a stand-up triple, and then she went off for a grand slam. I mean, you just don't get that out of a typical player. And then you have I mean, you have Erin Dawson. She had some solid base hits last night, and you just go through the lineup, and I saw Ella Bruns as an 8th grader in the third base spot. I mean, I know that's not her normal position, but that's huge. I mean, for the fact that we can have 8th graders stepping up and playing, and Abel McCauley, she was catching. I mean, it's just the depth that we have in our program and the numbers we have in our program right now is insane.
All right, last softball question from everyone to basketball. It's a quick one. Okay, I saw you watching it with the junior high girls on, I think, Thursday when I was getting set up at the press box. Who you got winning the College World Series this year? Anyone going to take Oklahoma down?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Boomer. Powerhouse. You will not catch me cheering for another team.
Okay. Oh, you're an Oklahoma fan. Okay.
yes.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
you've enjoyed softball then lately. So I know they're not the number 1 seed this year. Texas is the number 1 seed, but
Horns down.
I'd
Always.
say Oklahoma probably is the favorite. All right, so that's your official prediction from Kaylee.
Yes.
We'll talk about that and our what to watch for at the end of the show here. But let's talk some basketball here. Just a couple weeks ago, officially announced that you are the girls basketball coach for the Sigourney Savages this year. Just talk a little bit about your excitement for that and kind of your, I don't want to say your expectations for the season because we're so far away, but kind of what are some things that excite you about the group that we have in place right now on the girls basketball side?
Okay, first off, I'm very nervous because, this is a big role. But I'm super excited to just give the girls what I know and what I played with. Zach was a phenomenal coach. Shay was a phenomenal coach. And I learned so much from them that I can't wait to give it to these girls as well. Something that I'm most excited for is the amount of speed that we have. We have a lot of guards this year, which means we can get up a lot of shots. We can run the floor. I think that's what I'm most excited for. But we have some girls that are taller, like Josephine and Addie Finneran, that can be my bigs and, play bully ball on the inside. That was my favorite thing to do. So I'm excited to teach them to do that as well. And, I love pressing. And, my girls probably won't like the amount of press that we do, but it's going to happen. And I'm super excited for that as well.
All right, we're talking a little philosophy here already this morning. I didn't want to go that far with you, but I'm glad that you got that out because that's good to know. They definitely got the girls that can do that. Let's talk a little bit about summer from the basketball standpoint. It is June 1st, so contact. If those of you who aren't familiar, once June starts, you can work with your team all the way through the dead week at the end of July. A lot of opportunities to play in leagues, camps, all that stuff. So talk a little bit about kind of what the summer agenda looks like for the girls. Obviously, as a small school, we are in a unique position where we've got athletes doing a lot of stuff. A lot of softball. They're trying to do probably some volleyball on the girls' side too. So talk a little about what the summer looks like and kind of what you're trying to get accomplished.
Yeah, so like you said, we have a lot of girls doing a lot of sports. So a lot of my basketball players are also in softball. So there was a few camps I wanted to go to, but they conflicted, and they have games those days. So it's just kind of be more of a lax summer. Not lax, but you know what I'm saying. They're still going to be in the gym, getting lots of reps up. They're in the weight room 3 times a week, gym 3 times a week, and then they also have volleyball almost all the same days, which, sorry, but, that's what happens when you go to a small school.
Yep.
You have volleyball, basketball in the morning, you have softball at night, you run, but, I mean, they're just going to get up a lot of reps, and I'm hoping to develop a lot over the summer, so when we get to season, it's there. It's ready to go.
Yeah, and that's one thing that, I think people don't realize, and I've talked to a lot of our coaches about this. There's such a fine line between not doing enough and doing too much in the summer because obviously, we're in a similar position as being basketball coaches where we're kind of third fiddle right now. They're in season for softball. They got football, cross country, volleyball. That's kind of on deck. That's kind of the next sport. So we've kind of got to, but this is the only time that we get a chance to work with them as well. So it is a difficult thing, and it's a good balancing act that has to work. But like you said, we've got such great kids that they're going to work hard. They're going to put the time in to be successful, and that's really what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I don't think I have one athlete that's just basketball. They all play a lot of things, and it's just I did the same thing. I mean, I was in the school or at the field all day long. I hardly ever had free time, but I wouldn't change a thing because, it developed me as a person, as a player. And and I think they'll be grateful for it, even if they don't like me when we're at Open Gym.
All right. Well, hey, we really appreciate Kaylee being in here. I got one more question for you before we get you out of here. Again, huge thanks for coming in and talking a little bit of softball and basketball here on a Saturday morning. You were one that, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. This might be a tough question, but you were one that did a lot of different stuff. Your favorite memory as an athlete, as a Sigourney Savage, as we kind of transition, we've called this Transition Saturday. So we're transitioning you, an athlete. Now you're all coaching. You're full time. You're helping out summer and winter. Number one favorite memory that you had in the Savage uniform, any sport?
Oh, that's hard.
Or you can do a couple.
All right, we're gonna do two. That's
okay.
a good answer.
Okay.
All right, my favorite memory was for basketball was my senior year. We beat North Mahaska. Never done that in my career. I saw Zach jump.
That was an exciting game. I remember that one.
Yeah, that was cool. And then for softball, it would have also had to been my senior year going to state, beating Linville Sully for the first time. You know, we did a lot of firsts that year. We beat Linville Sully, beat North Mahaska, won the conference outright. Yeah, I think those are my favorite. It was just a super surreal moment. I didn't think I'd ever get to experience it again, and there I was. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. A lot of fun memories. And again, huge thanks to Kaylee for coming in here on a Saturday morning, and definitely get down and watch. I think 9 o'clock starts for softball junior high. Yep. All right, so you got to get down there, and then it'll be, before we know it, it'll be hardwood time, and you'll see her roaming the sidelines for the Savages this winter. So thanks again, Kaylee. Appreciate it.
All righty, thank you, Kaylee. And while we get in between segments here, as we were talking about, I went ahead and got this picture of Carly Goodwin with that double thousands, 1,000 strikeouts and 1,000 points with softball and basketball. A heck of an athlete, Carly Goodwin. She's been a great one for the last few years for Sigourney. Of course, we are doing our sports section live from Brothers Market at 118 South Main in Sigourney. And as we always talk about, you can download the Brothers Market digital app. You can go to shopbrothersmarket.com. Savings made simple. You can see the headline there on your screen. Shopbrothersmarket.com. Digital coupons, earn rewards, deal of the week, shopping deals. Get that app. It's a smart way to shop for Brothers Market, the digital app. All right, let's go back to Mitch Eslick with more of the sports section. Mitch.
All right, so hey, that was good timing. That was a great interview from Kaylee, and we're kind of hopping into the summer now. So we covered spring in our first segment, and we're gonna get you caught up on kind of what's been going on. Really only one, I guess you call it two shows in town in the summer. Baseball, softball is all we got. So kind of highlighted the teams in the greater Keokuk County area to get caught up on. Let's start with our Savages. It's been a great start, been a hot start for both teams. Softball is ranked number 2 in all of Class 1A. We talked a lot about Carly already, but the offense has scored double-figure runs now 4 times already this year. They had a couple of big wins this week, against Davis County, a very good Davis County team, 3-0, and then a pivotal conference win over EV on Thursday night, 6-1. Baseball is off to an unbeaten start on this year as well. They've won a couple of tight conference games over Keota 7-5 and Belle Plaine 3-0. And they got the bats going this week. They scored double figures 3 times this week against EV, against Davis County, and last night against Colfax Mingo. So the boys off to a hot start as well for the Savages. The Pekin Panthers, the softball team, off to an 0-6 start. They did get a home run from Maya Bainbridge in Wednesday night's game against Hillcrest. Pekin baseball, they're 2-2 on the young season. The highlight for them has been back-to-back wins over Van Buren County and Winfield Mount Union. EV off to an excellent start on the softball diamond, 6-1 record. Their only loss was to Sigourney on Thursday night at Schaefer Field. They went unbeaten last weekend, a couple of really good wins at the Jim Turner Classic in Williamsburg over a good Wapello team and East Marshall. Baseball has got off to an 0-4 start. Freshman Kane Axmere, be Kennedy's little brother. Wouldn't call him little real often though. He's a big, strong kid. He had a big night against Iowa Valley. He drove in all 3 runs for the Bears in their game against the Tigers of Iowa Valley. Keota baseball. They're 2-3 to start the year. All these results were not factoring in last night's game, some coaches are better than others about getting things on varsity bounds. So we cut it off with before Friday night games. Wins over Twin Cedars and EV. Cole Kindred, hot start, 6 hits, 6 RBIs so far this year. Keota softball currently sitting 0-4. Freshman Lexus Detweiler, she had a real nice game against Iowa Valley, 2 hits and a stolen base. And then lastly, HLV TC. It's been a very good start for their softball team. You talked a lot about those girls. They were in here for track, Steve. They have put together a very impressive calendar year of athletics over at HLVTC for the girls. They're 4-0. They scored double figures in every single game so far. Lily Randall, who we just talked about, Athlete of the Week, 10 RBIs already on the year for the Warriors. HLV boys lost a couple heartbreaking one-run games as a part of their 0-4 start. Boston York pacing the way for them, 5 hits and 4 RBIs for the Warriors.
All right. Now, but before we move on, I do want to say, on Sundays, usually late Sunday afternoons, early evenings, I always put out kind of a plea on my Facebook page looking for nominees for Athlete of the Week and Team of the Week. And so if people don't nominate, if we don't get comments or messages, then you're leaving it up to me to go to the Bound website and look up statistics, easy for me to say, stats. And you're leaving it in the hands of me to pick the nominee. I would much rather have people nominate athletes and teams than me go and dig up some stats. So look for that post on Facebook tomorrow on Steve Shetler Media and nominate. Make sure you nominate some worthy athletes. It's always based on the previous week's accomplishments. It's not like an overall type of a thing. It's the previous week is what we're looking at. But get those nominations in. I really appreciate it when people nominate the athlete and the team of the week for those. Let's take one last look at our Pick'ems standings. Now, we're not going to do Pick'ems during the summer months just because of a lack of sports, a lack of interesting games. It's a lot more fun when you have like football and some basketball games. But yeah, summer is just kind of a dead time. Pick'em standings, your final standings for the spring season. Jenny Hobbs and I got our butts kicked, especially I did. The guest pickers that we had each week ended up getting 43 correct picks during the spring season. Hobbs had 39, and then I'm all the way down there at the bottom with 36. So, yeah, I was last. This is my show, dang it. I shouldn't be in last place. The guest pickers doing well on the pick'ems during the spring season. Again, we're going to give that a rest during the summertime, and we'll come back in the fall when we get hot and heavy with football. Another thing I want to point out here real quick is the Sigourney Savage baseball and softball schedules that we've got around town. Now, I put these together. I thank all the advertisers that jumped on board and made these flyers possible. It was an easy thing from a salesperson perspective. It was an easy thing to sell. Lots of people jumping on board for this. It's a double-sided flyer. If you can find one anymore, good luck, because these are a hot commodity. Evidently, because a lot of people have run out of their schedules already. So if you see some of these, they are just kind of sprinkled around town at different businesses that have a lot of foot traffic. So if you want a Savage baseball or softball schedule, those are, again, around town. And we'll be doing this again during the different sports seasons. So coming up in the fall, we'll put like a football and volleyball schedule together and do that throughout the school year. So those schedules, a hot item. Mitch, do we have anything to wrap up with for today?
We do, Steve. We got kind of our final segment each week here as we get going. And I kind of want to piggyback before I get on that to kind of what you said. Hey, make our jobs here at the sports section a little bit easier. Give us some good nominees, and then hey, if you got anything for the what to watch for, if there's any good youth activities going on that we can hit really quick at the end, we're going to be looking for stuff here in the summer months. We said a little bit slower in the summer month, so interact with Steve. Currently, someone in Saudi Arabia controls my Facebook account, so I have not been on there for a while. But Steve's on there. He does a great job running the page on there. I still, my mom's a Facebook diehard. She's probably watching right now. So hey, Mom, what's up? And she keeps me updated on what Steve's doing. She loves his page. So I hear a little bit, but help make our job easier of what we got going on. Get us those nominees for Athletes Team of the Week. Let us know what's going on in the area. And if you got any ideas of anyone fun that we can talk to on a Saturday morning, certainly let us know, because I think the reason that Steve does this is, to highlight and to appreciate the accomplishments of these high school kids. They work, and or even college age kids. If there's anyone back from college that's doing something athletically, let us know, and we would love to talk with them, talk about them, and acknowledge all the hard work that they do. So our last segment each and every week is going to be what we call What to Watch For, a little preview of the week to come. And as I said, we're going to talk about everything. And the first thing that we're going to talk about a little T-ball. T-ball, first game of the season tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Vivian makes her debut on the lower field at 5 p.m. So there's another game following at 6. 6 teams in the T-ball league. If you want to see some subpar T-ball coaching, you can come out and watch Coach Kelly and I coach up the Undertaker team at 5 o'clock on Sunday. All right, now the more serious stuff. Let's talk a little bit of high school. A couple big baseball games. A really big baseball game Monday night. The Sigourney Savages make the trip to Linville-Sully. These are 2 unbeaten teams in South Iowa Cedar League play. This game will go a long way to deciding our conference champion in the South Iowa Cedar League. So big one on Monday night in Sully on the baseball side. Another big baseball game in the South Iowa Cedar League, BGM and Belle Plaine Wednesday night. Both those teams kind of the next tier behind Sigourney and Linville-Sully in the South Iowa Cedar League. So that'll be a big one for positioning in the conference. On the softball side, we talked about Cardinal, the girls, the team of the week on softball, a very good softball team, and our Savages will make the trip to Eldon on Thursday night. That's a big game. If you can get down there, if you have some free time, I would certainly encourage making that about a half-hour jaunt south to Eldon and watching that one, because that game, it was a very good game a year ago. Cardinal had a win here in Sigourney, very tightly contested game. I think it was 1-0, maybe 2-0 final. So the Savages will be looking for a little bit of revenge as they go to Eldon, but Cardinal, as we saw, playing some good softball. And then Wednesday night, HLV-TC takes on EV. That's a big matchup. Both those teams, there's a little bit of a logjam at the top of the conference standings in softball. Sigourney, HLV-TC, and EV all in there. So that'll be a pivotal game on the softball side as well. Only one combined loss between those two teams. College sports. We're winding down. We're not going to be able to talk much more college sports, but we do have, it is a big weekend in college baseball and softball. It's regional weekend on the baseball side. Honestly, as a sports fan, one of my favorite weekends to watch. If you don't know how regional baseball works, basically you got 16 4-team tournaments all over the United States, and they play double elimination tournament. The 16 winners will advance to next weekend. So they got started last night. A lot of really good games. I think they had 5 or 6 walk-off hits last night in regional baseball, and that'll be a fun watch all the way through. Monday is when that'll wrap up. And then in Oklahoma City, we talked to Kaylee about it. She said Boomer Sooner. They are the favorite. Oklahoma, we're down to 6 teams in the College World Series. They'll crown a champion. Their series starts next Wednesday through Friday, so by this time next week, we'll have a college softball champion. And then lastly, on the professional side, those of you who don't know me very well, big tennis guy. We got the French Open going on over in Paris. I was watching this morning before I came here. Battle on the clay. They play on the clay in Paris. Action all week. Women's championship match right now in 1 week, and then the men's championship next Sunday. So all week long, if you're up early in the morning, can't sleep, get up at 4 or 5 o'clock a.m., flip on the tennis. You can watch it all week long. NBA Finals are set for the basketball side. The Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics promises to be a good championship matchup there. Game 1 is set for Thursday night of this week. And then the NHL playoffs have been very entertaining as well. We're down to the Final Four. Both those series are at 3-2 right now. The Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers have 3-2 leads over the New York Rangers and the Dallas Stars. So we'll have our first Stanley Cup final game 1 week from today as well. So that is our what to watch for coming up this week in sports. Steve.
All righty. Thank you, Mitch. Well, that'll wrap it up. Mitch, I'd say a very successful beginning to your run here as the summer host for the sports section. Now, of course, you've done radio. You've done announcing for live video for sports announcing as well. So, but doing this hosting duty for an actual show is different, but you've done fantastic. So great job.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and man, you made it easy on me. So if we can just do this another few weeks in a row, we'll be all good. So yeah, thanks for having me, and looking forward to a great summer.
All right, we'll be back here, of course, next Saturday at 8 a.m. from Brothers Market at 118 South Main in Sigourney. Again, make sure you download that Brothers Market digital app. Otherwise, you guys have a great Saturday, and yeah, again, we'll see you next Saturday morning right here at Brothers Market for the sports section.